Hello and welcome to this video tutorial about using the task view in Sesame. In this tutorial, we will be working in the Scheherazade module. The task view allows assignment and tracking of tasks at your lab. To begin, let's create a new task. In the Options menu, scroll to New View and select Task. A new task window opens in the board. The fields for database number and created by date, modified by date, and lab are auto-populated as you build the task and are not editable. The field here, What, is the title of the task. Enter a short description. Our task today will be to prepare 1 PCR plate. Status is a drop-down list maintained by the lab master, for example, assigned, accepted, in progress, finished, archived, or on hold. Let's choose assigned. Type is a drop-down list of choices also maintained by the lab master. Labs may set up this list to reflect the types of tasks that are typical in their lab. For this example, we have lab, publication, and spectrometer. I will choose lab. Priority is a drop-down list of qualifiers that denote the priority of the task. Let's choose yes. Severity is a drop-down list of qualifiers which denote the severity of the task. We have low, medium, and high here. Let's choose high. Responsibility is the lab member responsible for the completion of the task. The drop-down list contains all of the lab's members. Choose the lab member now. Let's choose P for net. Tasks may be created and updated by any member of the lab and assigned between any members of the lab. Tasks may also be assigned to oneself. The lab member who creates a task and assigns it is the owner of that task record. Date needed is the desired completion date assigned to the task by the requester. We need to have the plate ready by next Tuesday. Let's save this now. Under Task in the menu bar, select Save as New Task. Enter any further description of the task in the description field if necessary. For simple tasks, adding content in this field may not be necessary. Linked items is a list of Sesame records that are linked to this task record. This table may contain links of any type that are relevant to this task. Let's add a link to the recipe for the master mix. To create a link between records, open the record you want to link to. Let's go to the Linked Items field in the record we want to link to here and grab the row that starts with this record, drag it to the task, and drop it in the title bar here. Now this recipe is linked to this task, and it is easy to navigate from one to the other. I'll also include a link to the instruction manual citation that's in the recipe here. I'll drag and drop that and link this as well. I'll close the recipe and go back into my task. The links to the recipe and the citation now show here. Select the blue I button to reopen either of these now. Next, we may add any relevant files or images in the following fields. Let's attach an image. If the image is in the computer's file system, select the green button here. A pop-up window opens to add the row. If you choose, enter a user label. This is a note entered when the file is attached. Choose a format for this file. I'll keep File selected here. Click into the file name field and then choose the image or images to upload. Choose the blue I button to the right here to open and view this image in the board. There are a number of functions here for working with images and files in these fields. Please see additional tutorials for full information. We may use an existing task as a template to create a new task. For example, let's say we want to duplicate this task for 1 week later. Just choose Save as New Task from the Task menu. This will create a new task with the same settings as the task that it was created from. Now, I may change any relevant fields. I'll change the date for a week later to create this duplicate. To delete a task, on the task menu, click Delete Task. If you are sure you want to remove the task from the database, click OK. A task may be deleted only by the user who created it. To use this task as a template for a new task that will also create a link in the database between the two tasks, we may create a child task. For example, let's say I need to share this task and assign it to another lab member. Under Task, in the menu bar, choose Save as New Child Task. Now, I'll change this new child task to assign it to Raul by choosing his name from the drop-down list here in the field responsibility. A new task is now created with identical settings to the parent task and establishes a parent-child relationship between the two entries, which are now linked. The parents and children of a record are shown in the Linked Items field with a parent or child prefix in the name column, respectively. Now let's switch users to look at the task view from another point of view. So I'm logging in now as Phoebe to look at the task from the recipient's point of view and to cover some additional useful functions in this view. As I'm logging in, you can see that my tasks are automatically listed on the main page here in Scheherazade. Lab masters may set up Sesame to automatically load and show tasks to lab members upon login. These settings are located in the lab profile under Login Show Tasks here. This may also be modified to show only tasks of specific status as well in the Show Task Status field. This is set here to Assigned to show only tasks that are in assigned status upon login. Back to the main page here in Scheherazade, I may open this task by double-clicking on it. I was assigned this task, so I will update the status now to Accepted. I may add and share any additional comments in the info field here. Any lab member may also update this field. To add an entry, choose the green plus button to the right here and type the text of your comment here. I will enter running low on yield ACE. I will order more. Let's save this task now, choosing Save Task this time from the button here, showing a hammer with a down arrow. Now that this is saved, I may also email this info entry to the owner of this record, who is also the person who assigned this task, to keep them reprised of anything relevant. Click on an entry in the info field and choose the button to the right here to email the row. Now the email has been sent. The check mark shows here to note that. Now we may also check out the status history here, which is a chronological list of all status settings in the history of the task. It is automatically updated when a status different from the last one is assigned and the record is saved. Let's create a new task for ordering the yield ACE that we need. Under the Task menu, I'll choose New Task. Now I'll fill this out. Under What, I'll enter Order Yield ACE from the linked vendor. Under Status, I'll put Assigned. Type, Lab, Priority Yes, and Severity High. Under Responsibility, Madison orders lab supplies for me, so I will choose her name here. Under Date Needed, I'll choose 7/5/2018. Now I want to include a link to the vendor, which I know is included in the recipe for this mix. So I will go to the main page on Scheherazade and search for that recipe. Let's open this now. I would like to include a link to our Yield ACE vendor. The vendor for Yield ACE is included as a link on this recipe. I'll just drag and drop the vendor into this task. Now, I'll close the recipe and we can see that the link to the vendor is now included in the task. When I press the blue I button to the right, I may reopen this vendor. Let's close these windows now and go again to the main page in Scheherazade to explore how to search for tasks at my lab. First, let's clear our search results tree by pressing the button with the eraser here in the button bar. Now let's look under Search in the menu bar and go to Task. First, I'll search by date. Let's search for all tasks in our lab with the priority Yes. Now all the task records that fit the search criteria show. Double-click on a task to open it in the board. Now we may make any necessary updates. We may also create reports about tasks. Let's go back to the main window here and under Report, go to Task. First, let's look at Last Statuses. This report provides a list of the last status from all tasks in the lab. We can also call up the last 2 statuses. Let's choose Last 1. The report opens in the board, and now I may quickly review the last status of all the tasks in the lab. We may also create a report of full status history on tasks. Under Report, I'll choose Task and Status History. Let's call up all status history from April 1st through April 28th. The report opens in the board and displays a table including all tasks assigned in the lab within this time period and their status histories. Thank you for watching this video tutorial. Please visit our web pages for any questions or for more information about Sesame.